Welcome to On the Range Podcast with Kelley Defense and War HOGG Tactical.
Hey guys, welcome to On the Range Podcast with War HOGG Tactical and Kelley Defense. I'm Rick Hogg, and my co-host is...
Hey, Mark Kelley here with you guys. Always good to be with you, buddy. How you doing, Rick?
Hey, doing good, buddy. So again, guys, just trying to do something a little bit different here. I know, with the pandemic, COVID's going on, people are stuck at the house, so just trying to open up things a little bit, as far as different ways to communicate, just get some info out there. And actually, it was Mark's idea to come up with a podcast, so super idea, buddy, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, man. I think, we've been talking about it for a little bit now, getting some content out there. People are always asking when we're going to do another live chat. They're always asking me when things go open, when the new schedules are going to be placed, and, that stuff's all up in the air, so we thought this was a good idea. Yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about interacting with the guys and gals that are always asking us questions, and I think this is an easy way to do it.
Yeah. And, just kind of quick highlight just for the listeners out there, just, we're not really looking to have a hard, show format for lack of better terms, but, just kind of some of the things we're looking to cover, obviously, firearms related stuff, anything dealing with the firearms industry. Obviously we're both military veterans, but Mark can also talk that law enforcement side as well. I think we're going to hit on some, veteran entrepreneur and just some of the struggles that we've kind of faced out there. Current events as this thing starts to grow. I think definitely trying to get some different guests out there. We'll hit on our industry partners, that are supporting both of our companies, and then obviously military and law enforcement. Can't go wrong with, this is Mark's deal. I got to give you credit for this one, brother. All things America. I mean, that's a huge one right there. And really, guys, at the end of the day, it's just, looking to have fun, so how can two buddies from 30 plus years, I guess it is now.
You could almost say nearly lifelong friends.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
So kind of put this podcast together and get some info out there. So,
I think the two that I'm really excited about, especially with this format, we can pretty much talk whatever we want or whatever, folks are asking us to talk about, but I'm really excited about the industry partners and getting their companies out there, because one of the biggest highlights since you and I a few years back started talking about these companies and how they're coming out is a lot of the people that I've been able to meet, and they've got some really great stuff and great ideas out there, and they're really good people. I'm really looking forward to highlighting some of those companies, and hopefully we can have some guests from those industry partners, because you said it before, if you go to War HOGG Tactical's many avenues and medias out there, social media, webs, you're going to see the guys that you support, and it'd be great to highlight some of those guys on the podcast as well. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, and since you kind of bring up that, Clint from down at ATAX, we're both part of the pro staff down there, so I know he's invited us down there to try to do a podcast with him down there as well. But you never know as things start to progress. Circle back and get Clint on the show one of these days. So at the end of the day, Mark, you hit the nail on the head. It's all these different companies out there, super companies, super products, but it's all a mutual benefiting each other. These companies we partner with, they're great for, some do discount codes, coupon codes, whatever you want to say, and just try to pass it on to either student, listener, however this thing starts to evolve. I know with some of my partners, warhog.com, scroll through the partners page, some of the, coupon and discount codes are already listed on there. So, definitely give those guys a look, and it's all about supporting each other.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, the Americans that grace us with listening to this podcast can get some good deals out of that. And all those companies are companies that you and I both believe in.
100%.
Yeah, they would not be on our web pages. They would not be in our social media as often they are if we really didn't believe in those guys, what they stand for, and their products.
Yeah.
And it's easy to see when you go to our social media. So, yeah. And,
yeah, buddy.
The thing too that I'm really looking forward to is getting some of those questions. We do get questions on our social media. I mean, we get it all the time. I know you get them.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them are through direct messages. But this is, we get a lot of good questions that are affecting or could help a lot of people. And this is going to be a great way to get those things out there. The pro tips, training tips, especially in this climate where you can't really get out the way you want to right now. I mean, I know that's going to change, but all these skills are perishable. We've talked about that, and it's good to have some kind of a training regimen going on, even if you can't get out. And we can help with that.
Yeah, and you bring up a great point, because it's funny. I got an email the other day. So William, this guy lives out in Washington State, saying, "Hey man, when you coming out here to do a class?" So I wish I could tell you. I don't know. But he then followed up the next day. He ended up, so for the listeners out there, if you don't know, I just got done shooting a DVD with Panteo Productions for concealed carry. And just, again, his standpoint, it was just super content, and not to, try to pat myself on the back, but just to go, hey guys, especially with this pandemic, stay at the house type situation we've got going on, how do you sit there and continue to train? And that's kind of the beauty of the DVDs. They don't replace the actual physical instructor on the range, but it gives you something to do. And I know as things start to progress, once the actual DVDs come out, we'll get them on the website. I know it on Panteo.com. They've got it live streaming and digital download, but it's another tool. And it's funny because I'm heading back down there next week. We're going to end up shooting another DVD series. Again, it kind of falls right in line. It's crazy how these things are falling in line with the whole COVID thing, but it's going to be how to use airsoft as a supplemental tool to your regular firearms training. So
yeah. Well, if anybody's had any experience with Panteo Productions products, it's high value production stuff. It's really good stuff. And, getting those live streams out there for yourself and all the other vetted instructors with Panteo, it's one more tool that we can combat some of the things that we see on social media. You see a lot of things on social media that, I don't think it's ill intended, but this is good stuff. And they always do a good job at Panteo, good productions.
Yeah, Fernando and the boys down there, super job, super great guys to work with. But, Mark, you hit a key point, and just for the listeners out there, just caveat this, whenever you're on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever your platforms, you're looking at stuff. To me, I'm always trying to explain the why behind why I'm doing something. And I think it's important versus just watching some drill or some action on the range and going, hey, let me duplicate it or emulate it. Understand the why behind it. And if you don't understand the why, or somebody can't explain the why, it just it's questionable. Is it then just entertainment, or is it a viable skill that might save your life? So just food for thought. That's all.
Yeah. And a lot of times those types of folks that can't answer those questions or never try to answer them. I mean, let's face it, it's entertainment, and it does have some entertainment value, but let's not take it outside of that genre. It's not necessarily something that's going to save your life for one reason or the other. Circumstance dictates that. But you mentioned the IG and some of the other platforms. Yours is it War HOGG Tactical at IG, Instagram?
Yeah, so pretty much what I've tried to do across the board. So for Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, everything is War HOGG Tactical. So that'll get you stuff there. And then the thing is, it's trying to balance, obviously, Instagram and Facebook. If you post on Instagram, it goes right to Facebook. But trying to plug a little more on the YouTube side. So for example, all our sponsors from this last DVD, their promo videos, they're all on the YouTube, so if you're just curious, hey, about the Aimpoint Acro or Archon Type B, standard holsters, Archon ammo, Benchmade brute force bags, those are our sponsors, Grizzly Targets as well, something, there's info out there. So you as the listener, consumer can at least take a peek. And again, it's my opinion, it's my 2 cents, but again, I'm not trying just to jump on board with anybody. I want products, just like you said, that I believe in, that I'm going to put my name on and go from there. So,
yeah, Kelley Defense is pretty. By the way, it's HOGG with 2 G's for those who aren't familiar. It's War HOGG, 2 G's Tactical, and mine is Kelley Defense with 2 E's. So Kelley Defense, but it's pretty much across the board as well. It's KelleyDefense.com, and it's Kelley Defense on IG as well.
Yep.
But the one thing that we're going to bring to you guys out there listening, more than one way to submit questions for us or podcast ideas, or if you have an idea of a guest that you want to throw us an idea for. Right now, if you go to our 2 IG pages, you can always shoot us a direct message. And if you only remember the one and it's for the other person, go ahead and shoot it. We communicate, almost on a daily basis. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to that listener interaction. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's going to be a lot of fun talking about, miscellaneous stuff that everybody's talking about right now. I mean, we could go on and on about what's going on right now. And I think we'll definitely have to get into some of that discussion with the epidemic going on, because I cannot remember the last time where the most exciting part of my day was waiting for the mail guy to come by so I could go see if I got something in the mail. I mean, the family's always getting stuff, in boxes from, whoever they're ordering from, but not so much with me. So it's been, trying, but we've been positive and productive. At least we've been trying to, and it's difficult. And I know a lot of guys are out there struggling, and I'd love to hear some stories about those too, about businesses, anything we can do to help. I know my dad, as you know, he had a farm, and we're real passionate about seeing if we can get the word out there to help folks. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's been a lot of fun just getting it ready, and it's going to even be more fun doing it. So especially as you and me get to do something together, pal. It doesn't happen very often where we can collaborate, this closely. So I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. Hey, one thing I think we forgot to do, Mark, just intros. I mean, we're probably, 13 or so odd minutes into the podcast, but we never really gave any intros on ourselves. So,
go ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So, hey guys, I'm Rick Hogg with War HOGG Tactical. I'm a 29-year U.S. Army Special Operations combat veteran. So I've taken my time as a Special Forces Advanced Urban Combat Instructor in my 13 combat deployments to both Iraq and Afghanistan, and I've harnessed War HOGG Tactical. We provide mobile firearms, tactical, and canine training to law-abiding citizens, military, and law enforcement agencies. We're getting ready to launch a canine product line, and then we also consult for the firearms and defense industry. So, again, from my standpoint, the stuff I'm teaching, it's not theory-based, it's experience. So, my 2 cents, brother.
Another thing too that you have in your toolbox is the military working dog stuff.
Yep.
So that's another avenue that we can always, talk about. I'm not so much experienced. I've had them on, teams with me, but never actually been a handler. But you're a handler and a trainer.
Yep.
So
well, I like to just use the word because I think there's a distinction. Yep. By all means, I am, a K9 handler, and in turn, you get some training tips there. But, on a sidebar, you bring up a great point, so I can't forget, since you brought it up, Mark. But so Duco is my retired working dog. So
Yes.
if you want to check him out on the IG as well, it's War Dog with 2 G's, Duco, Duco. So
whenever we have an event, if we can bring his celebrity to the show, it goes up to a 10. Everybody loves Duco.
Man, it was funny because that last class I had down in Panzio before this, stuff all kind of went crazy. First question, hey man, where's Duco? I'm like, really? Guys are here to do a pistol course. Yeah.
I'm here. What?
Don't chop liver.
Yeah, that's great.
Where's the dog? So Mark, tell us about you, buddy.
Yeah, guys. Again, my name is Mark Kelley. I'm a U.S. Army combat veteran and 27-year active major city law enforcement officer, and I'm the owner of Kelley Defense. After my 7 years in the Army, I went into law enforcement, and the focus of my law enforcement career has been major crimes, tactical operations, SWAT, and dignitary protection. Many of those years, I was an active law enforcement instructor, which gave me the opportunity to train military, SWAT officers, and federal task force officers. The goal of Kelley Defense is to provide a serious firearms and tactical training experience. These techniques are proven, and I'm always looking to help out the guys who are tasked with currently protecting us. So whenever those opportunities, Rick and I always jump on those. So that's Mark, a little about us.
Well, and I just need to caveat one thing. You bring up a good point. It's the whole law enforcement side, and again, mine is all military background. But we've done a collab together, and the neat thing is when you get a mil LE, kind of collab going on. It's especially when it comes to the whole deadly force thing. I can tell you, hey, what the state of North Carolina has to say and all that stuff. But really, you can caveat from the law enforcement side. Hey, man, here's some no kidding things to expect. Here's, the reality, I guess, if you want to say, of life versus what people think or what's been painted. So I think for that standpoint, brother, that's a huge piece you bring to the table.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, there is a legal side to it, and
yep.
There's a lot of questions that can be asked and answered about that as well. There's definitely a legal side of the house. This isn't something that a lot of folks have experience with, and you and I have some experience with that. We had some police interventions where I'm at, several of them a year on average, mm-hmm. unfortunately, we can get into all that. It's all up to what the listeners want to talk about, and we're happy to talk about it. So
and really, it's kind of two buddies, for lack of better terms, kind of BSing a little bit, but really, it's getting that listener interaction is really, I think, a big driving factor for us. Because I know, like when we do the IG lives and stuff, it's great to see people shoot a message on there and. Again, just looking for another platform to help get the word out there and just help guys out at the end of the day.
Yeah. So we haven't really, got to the point of how often this is going to be done. I think that's something we're going to have to talk about. Like anything else, it doesn't take a ton of time to record one of these things, but it does take some time to collect all the submitted questions and the format and then editing and things like that. But what are your ideas on that? How often you think we're going to be throwing these out?
Probably at current junction until we figure out where things are going. Neither one of us are really. Obviously you're still, working full time, but I think the time's there where we're not traveling as much around doing classes, so it'll probably be a more inject. Would I love to say, hey, we could jam one out once a week? Yeah, sure. Is that reality? I don't know. Life pops up sometimes. Mm-hmm. But I think the beauty with these versus kind of the IG lives is IG lives are fire and forget. Yeah, you might be able to watch it a day later, but you come on there at the 25th hour and that thing's gone. Where
Yeah.
at least with these, hey, you've got them. It's simple, easy, click it on when you drive and, have a listen and go from there.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is business talk, and that's another topic that you and I have some growing pains that we've had to fight through, that we might be able to help some veterans or LE guys who are looking to start their own business. And that's one of these things. You and I have been working for somebody else, or we had been working for somebody else for a long time, and I can tell you it is a lot of work. It's a lot more time. There is quite a bit of sacrifice, as is with anything else that you're really trying to work hard at being good at. But I can't think of anything more rewarding that I've done in recent years, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's been a great ride, even though it's moving slow and it's a grind, but it's been a really good ride.
Yeah, and hopefully, it's funny you mentioned that, because I was talking to a guy the other day that's stationed out in Guam. He's got about another year and a half left, and just trying to help him out, give him, pave a better roadmap, for lack of better terms, because, to all my military guys, if you're still in or getting ready to get out or retire or whatever, I'm just going to call it like it is. But, unfortunately, the military does not do a good job setting you up for success as an entrepreneur. I stepped out of there thinking, hey, man, I'm at the 70-80% point, and really the joke was on this guy.
Yeah.
So, if we can sit there, because we did that one, again, me and you did that one podcast with Gary, we talked about veteran entrepreneurship. So, if you're thinking about, business or whatever, and again, I'm not claiming to be any type of business expert, just a guy that's kind of struggled along. I'm a firm believer in there's no reason to make the same mistake twice. So, just listen to what we got to say for just some of our growing pains. And if it just expedites you some time, so be it. Because like with you, Mark, I mean, I remember trying to get my YouTube page up, and I forget, you're sitting there pumping with little wickets like, hey man, did you see this button here? You get free music, free sounds. I'm like, really? I'm like, okay. So yeah. And I think that's the whole key, is just the passing of info back and forth.
Yeah. And you got to have someone to bounce things off of. But, gosh, I mean, our names got butchered when we first started doing this, and it was just, people are like, dude, what is that? But it's a good time, and it's a lot of growing pains, but it's very rewarding. And you know what? We might actually be getting some information out there to folks who are learning to, protect themselves. And there's nothing more important to me than that, especially our military and law enforcement guys.
Yeah, 100%, man. I that was one thing I mentioned that, last DVD I did with Pantheo. It's like, hey, man, God forbid you ever have to use deadly force. But if you do, you best be skilled in how to use it. And, firearms part, yep, I'm a firm believer of the hands as well, because especially for my LE guys and even my mil guys, sometimes, you can't always go straight to your firearm. Even for my law-abiding citizens, you've got to have some skill with your hands, because not everything warrants deadly force potentially, but it could be, a confrontation, whatever the case is, especially with the LE guys. And, just look at all that, physical fitness. I mean, there's a whole gamut that goes into it, but, it's just getting those. Go ahead.
Yeah, the beauty of this is all these topics could be one episode in themselves, And
100%.
On top of the stuff that the listeners want to, get into, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And the thing about it too is we're going to, for all of our law enforcement guys, military guys, and just people that love America, we're going to be, at least I'm going to be trying to shed a lot of light on our military guys. We love those guys. We love the law enforcement guys. And man, what a job the health services are doing right now. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
I mean, it's a. Go ahead.
Go ahead, buddy.
No, I was just going to say, it's across the board. It's the first responders out there, they're going to work every day. But it's also, hey, the clerk at the grocery store, people that are doing just the regular day-to-day to keep America infrastructure going. Really, my heart goes out to, the people in the restaurant industry, especially all those waiters and waitresses, man. I mean, they have taken it hard. but we'll, as classic Americans, man, I mean, the biggest thing is have faith, things will bounce back.
Yeah.
We'll get back on our feet. And again, it's just another segment we'll write in the history books, and we'll pick up and go from there.
Yeah. And I have no doubt that we're going to land up on top again. We always do.
Oh, yeah. Always do.
Always do.
Yep.
So, all right, buddy. I think we're going to wrap it up.
Okay. Yeah.
Biggest fun.
Yeah, buddy. Biggest thing is, hey guys, as far as the listeners, get your questions out there. Either shoot us a DM at either War HOGG Tactical or Kelley Defense on Instagram. You can actually go to Anchor. There's a spot on there, isn't there, Mark, that they can leave a message or something like that?
Yeah, guys, you'll be able to go into the episode notes, description of our episode here, and click on a link that will take you to our podcast public page. And there you'll be able to leave us a voicemail with any questions you may have.
Yeah, and I think what we'll try to do too is just, on the social platforms, just try to put something out. Hey, questions for on the range, do by whatever, just so that we've got them and you guys are aware. Hopefully, hey, recording coming up in, either that day or within the next couple of days, and we'll get the questions all compiled and hopefully answer all your questions.
Yeah. Stay safe, guys, out there. Really appreciate all your military, first responders, and all you guys in the trucking industry just keeping this ship rolling.
Yeah, man.
Really appreciate it. So
Absolutely,
thanks for
bro.
everything you're doing. Keep it up. We're almost done, and there's still a lot to go, but we're going to get through this.
We'll be all good as we always do.
All right. See you next time, guys.
All right, buddy. Take care, man.